everyone, John here from the Brewers podcast, and I am back with another beer. Today we're drinking a beer from AleSmith Brewing Company. I've done this beer on the show, I think twice on YouTube. The first one I think was just a regular Speedway Stout, or maybe, no, it was a special bottle. I remember it was a bottle with like the gold ink for the label. Probably a Vietnamese Speedway Stout. And then we did regular Speedway Stout in 2017. That was in cans, I think, for the first time. And today we're doing Speedway Stout yet again. Only this time it is the 2018 Vietnamese coffee variant, which is my favorite variant of Speedway Stout. So this is a 12% ABV Imperial Stout with coffee, in this case Vietnamese coffee. Speedway Stout is always made with coffee, if I remember correctly. And yeah, this should normally be consumed fresh because it's a coffee beer, and coffee beers you want to get the full flavor of the coffee when it's fresh, because the coffee will degrade over time. So I'm not sure when this came. Oh, there it is, canned on date. This was canned on April 25th, 2018. So good on you, AleSmith. So this is going on almost a year old, so it's probably overdue to be open. I literally just pulled this out of my closet right here where I keep all my beer. And it's probably around 60-ish degrees or something like that, maybe 65 degrees. So let's open this up and check it out. So as to be expected, there's a lot of head on that beer. This beer's coming in inky black with a nice caramel dark brown head, which I absolutely love when it comes to stouts. I love seeing a rich dark head. I perceive the beer as almost immediately being better when it's got a dark head on it. So, I mean, that speaks nothing about the beer itself, other than it's got grains that will affect the color of the head in it. But I just love seeing a nice dark brown head on a black inky stout like that. It looks nice. So let's see what it smells like. So obviously the coffee has subdued. You're picking up some chocolate notes on there. A little bit of a sherry oxidation note, which is to be expected, especially for coffee stouts. But yeah, the coffee definitely has gone downhill. It's just not really there anymore, but you do get hints of the coffee along with some nice dark chocolate, a little bit of like a milk chocolate aroma to like a sweeter chocolate. Overall still smells pretty damn good. Yeah, it's big. Now that I go back to it, the chocolate's much more prominent on the nose than it was when I first smelled it. Again, dusty cocoa. If you ever smell like that Hershey's baking cocoa, like, I know it's weird to say that, but it smells different than like smelling like melted chocolate or a chocolate bar or something like that. It smells like dusty cocoa. So this still smells amazing. I mean, the coffee has gone downhill a little bit, but it still smells fantastic. So let's see what it tastes like. That's tasting good, man. Oh yeah. So even though the coffee has kind of mellowed out a little bit, this is a big beer. I mean, it's got a little bit of booze on it. Chocolate right up front. It's really good. Big time chocolate. Again, slight sherry oxidation, which I think in this case is helping the beer. It's just fine. It's got a nice big mouthfeel on it, and it's got a pretty striking sweetness to it, even though it finishes pretty damn dry. You taste like the sweetness. You taste, it's like milk chocolate, basically. It's not like a chocolate candy type milkshake kind of beer, or like a pastry stout, but it's definitely chocolate forward and sweet forward, to where it has more of like a sweeter chocolate character to it, and not like, you know, a pie character like you get from a pastry stout. I'm gonna pour a little bit more in this glass because I kind of underpoured. And for being 12%, I mean, you can taste some alcohol on it, but it's really smooth and drinkable. It's a dangerous beer. And this thing being at 65 degrees, Like there is nothing for this beer to hide behind. With stouts, bigger stouts, if you try them like cold, like 38 degrees in that temperature area, you miss out on a lot of the nuance from the beer, but it also hides a lot of things in stouts, in beer in general. So stouts, you definitely want to drink them around 50 to 55 degrees. You want a little bit of warmth on them to kind of let them blossom and bloom. But this thing is tasting fantastic. Yeah, really good. Like I said, the oxidation character on it kind of comes off like a wood character, even though I'm pretty sure this isn't barrel aged. I know it isn't barrel aged. It has a nice, deceptively wood vanilla character to it. But that just goes to show how good this beer is, I think. It's really, really good. They release this beer once a year, and they do different, I think, coffee variants throughout the year. But it's a fantastic beer. So it's pretty easy to get at this point too, now that AleSmith has moved and their production brewery is much, much larger than it used to be. I know this used to be an event back in the day where before you could even purchase it online, you had to go to the brewery to buy it, and then you could purchase it online. And when they were still at the Cabot Street Brewery, or the brewery on Cabot Street, it was still kind of iffy if you could get bottles online, and now they're canning it and it's plentiful. I think I got this at the store actually. I didn't even go to AleSmith to get it. So if you see this beer, pick it up. It's a classic West Coast Imperial Stout that it's definitely bitter forward, hop forward, but it showcases coffee and chocolate very, very well. It's a legendary beer in Southern California. So thanks for watching another video, and we'll see you next time.